Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, the Monster Hunter is at it again. I did a video a couple of months back, maybe about a month, 6 weeks back, about Andre Ward, who I consider to be the Monster Hunter. And the reason being is because he was at 168 pounds, super middleweight division. And you had a monster at 160, Gennady Golovkin, and a monster at 175 pounds, which was Sergey Kovalev, right? This guy, 2 years ago, was trying to fight Gennady Golovkin, and he was told he's at 168. They're not going to come up to fight them. They want to unify the middleweight division. Now, this was after Gennady Golovkin's team had stated that they would fight anybody from 154 to 168. Actually, they started with 154 to 175, but they moved it to 168. And Ward heard that and started trying to fight them vigorously. Everyone knows this. I'm not going to start getting into again. He was trying to fight them. They did not want to fight Golovkin. So HBO basically forced Andre Ward to go up to challenge the 175-pound king, which they were saying king, but there's another king up there, Adonis Stevenson. But to go up there and fight Sergey Kovalev, to move up in weight. So that's what Ward had to do. He had to even sign the contract to do so, right? Which I thought was a little bit, let's just say funny. Funny is something where you're not, doesn't go too far. Thought it was ridiculous, to be honest with you. But this is the kind of thing that goes on in boxing, all right? So he has to do this. He goes up here and fights Kovalev, and to a close decision. They have to fight a rematch, which I think they should because it was close. But, people sometimes, you normally when someone's moving up in weight, he's at the disadvantage. And if it's a close fight, you kind of would say, hey, well, let's give it to the little guy. The big guy was a monster, supposed to, knock him out, have a lot of power. Everyone's scared to fight him, this and that. But the guy comes up there and at least fights him in a competitive fight. Had him winning, very close fight. You can even give it a draw. You can even say Sergey Kovalev won that fight. Doesn't really matter, but it was a competitive fight, right? So, but all of these things went down because he wasn't able to fight Gennady Golovkin, all right? And he had to move up from the 168-pound division. Well, it comes out, his trainer, Virgil Hunter, has stated, well, he's really a super middleweight. He can still make 168 for the right money or the right opponent, right? So this is good because we've had news in the last couple of days that Gennady Golovkin, Abel Sanchez, his trainer, has stated that he'll probably try to unify with Billy Saunders. And after that, if that Canelo fight doesn't happen, then he's thinking of moving to 168, right? And, the whole time he didn't want to move to 168. So you're thinking, well, what is the mindset? Because now 160 is all of a sudden, well, we didn't have any opponents for the guy. We didn't know he was undisputed baddest dude at 160. Now we know that Daniel Jacobs is just as bad as he is. We all know that because that fight was competitive. I'm pretty sure we can agree on that, right? That Danny Jacobs is on that level. So there you have an opponent. And you have one of the Charlo brothers moving up, Jamel Charlo, moving up, that we know is also a formidable opponent. I personally think Chris Eubank Jr. is too. But, that has to be seen right now. That's just my personal opinion. I think Chris Eubank Jr. has a high work rate. And if he has a chin, which I think he does, and that work rate, I think he would cause Gennady Golovkin problems. But that's just, we have a few opponents at 160. So now you're going to go up. And I'm pretty sure he's going up. He's looking at 160. He's looking at, let me go ahead and get maybe some Tyrone Soiga or Callum Smith. I know he's not, Gilberto Ramirez, maybe. But what the problem is that Andre Ward will come down to 168 if Golovkin goes up to 168. So I would like to see the reaction to them because I'm pretty sure they didn't expect that to happen. So you're not going to get away from dealing with Andre Ward. And I'm pretty sure it's time for you guys to just go ahead and, go ahead and take the fight. You've been going away from him, and I'm trying not to say ducking. Been avoiding him for a minute. And this is a guy with no punching powers, so we all say, right? So the thing is Gennady Golovkin has got to figure out what he's really going to do because Going forward, there is nothing but good fights. There are a whole lot of good fighters out there that want to fight him, that have a right to fight him, and that we now know that he's not so much farther ahead of these fighters. There are a lot of fighters that are on his level that we will at least get these 60-40 fights from Golovkin going forward. And I think so. And I think that's good for him too, because at the end of the day, he still has a win over Daniel Jacobs. And that should be highly regarded because Daniel Jacobs is a good fighter, a great fighter. So, but I don't think they should do anything before having a rematch with Daniel Jacobs, except maybe unifying with Billy Joe Saunders. I know he wants to unify. He's been saying that for the longest. Let's respect his wishes there. It's a shame that we have so many belts that he has to go all over the place to get them. But if you have them all, almost all of them, I respect the fact that he wants to get the last one. Why wouldn't you? Anybody would. Let me go ahead and unify so I can be a unified middleweight champion. Go ahead and handle your business on that, Triple G. No problem with that. But after that, you still have Daniel Jacob problems at 160 if you're going to stay there. If you go to 168, hey, you might as well just go and get with Ward right away. The man is not too big. Virgil Hunter has stated so. He's a light heavyweight right now. He's trying to handle his business up there, but he can definitely make the super middleweight division. And as far as Sergey Kovalev goes, you know, a lot of people, because of the Andre Ward thing, you guys are giving Sergey a pass on handling the business that was there before Andre Ward even got there. I think Sergey Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson should have fought a long time ago, right? And one of them is all in the pound for pound, and the other one's doing just as much damage up there, and no one barely knows Adonis Stevenson. But Sergey Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson, you guys need to handle that, right? You try to get with Ward because you know he's smaller, and he's not hitting that hard, right? You guys have problems with each other. Why don't you handle that business, right? Instead of letting Ward, if Ward comes in here and fights Sergey Kovalev and beats him, we're going to be asking for Ward to fight Adonis Stevenson. Better be up. And all the monsters. Instead of the monsters, all of you guys were there before Andre Ward got there, right? Handle that and then let Andre Ward beat the guy who beats the guy. But you see how it works? It's going to be Andre Ward. If he beats Kovalev in June, then trust me, it's going to be Adonis Stevenson and the hardest guy in the division. No one's ever going to ask Sergey Kovalev, who pulled out of the purse bid with Adonis Stevenson, to handle that business. That should have been handled before Andre Ward got there. A lot of people don't think about that anymore, but I do. I kind of think that should have happened before. But back to the point, Andre Ward, like I said before, and I'll put a video up there when I get some time, but you can click on it when I said it before. Andre Ward is still the real monster hunter. Dome Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.